In the India bloc, is it just mere political posturing with each other, or is it real trouble? Whichever it is, it's too close to the Lok Sabha elections and the India bloc is yet to get its house in order. Let's cut across to our panelists this evening. Joining me, Amitabh Tiwari, political strategist and commentator, Dr. Shantanu Sen, TMC MP, Rajya Sabha, Siddharth Yadav, spokesperson, Bharatiya Janata Party, Sanjay Jha, former spokesperson, Congress. I want to cut across to Dr. Shantanu Sen. Dr. Shantanu Sen, you yourself, just a short while ago, in that public statement, had given a scathing indictment of the Congress and its slow pace on figuring out the seat-sharing arrangement in TMC. Your own leader yesterday practically stated she could go and do it alone, and the Congress is free to fight 300 seats on its own. You know, you've had a Rahul Gandhi who tried to cool down temper, saying he's very close to Mamata Banerjee. Seat sharing is going fine. But what's happening? What is really happening where the TMC camp is concerned?
Trinamool Congress first and foremost agenda is to oust BJP, to make a BJP-free India, to give real political, social and economic freedom to the people of the country at large. Mamata Banerjee has categorically told that Congress can contest in 300 seats straightaway against BJP, where Trinamool Congress is not going to contest anywhere. But on the contrary, in our state of West Bengal, the Congress president is moving in just opposite direction. He is here not in a mode to weaken BJP. Rather, he is here to weaken Trinamool Congress, the only anti-BJP force in West Bengal. And that's why, in order to do so, he is holding hands of CPIM, he is holding hands of ISF, and he is indirectly and directly benefiting BJP, Bharatiya Janata Party. We want to remind Mr. President of Pradesh Congress Committee that under your leadership, the number of legislative assembly of Congress Party is 0. Even in your assembly, in your parliamentary constituency, out of 7 assembly constituencies, you couldn't win even a single seat in the last assembly election. And that too, in your own assembly constituency, BJP won. That is the most unfortunate part of the story. Even after all this, you are misusing and you are using bad words against the only lady chief minister of the country, Madam Mamata Banerjee, who is categorically saying, yes, our first and foremost target is to oust BJP. We want to fight BJP. If you see, whenever Trinamool Congress fought against BJP, Trinamool Congress won. On the contrary, there are so many instances where Congress couldn't fight BJP head-on. In our state of West Bengal, because of the existing Pradesh Congress president, these types of trouble mongering,
so Dr. Sen, is the message now very clear? Dr. Sen, is the message now very clear from the TMC that if the Congress doesn't come to the table seriously, doesn't rein in Mr. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, who's making all these statements, then the TMC is happy to forge its own way?
In 2021, Congress fought against Trinamool Congress along with CPIM, that is left front. And Trinamool Congress fought alone, and Trinamool Congress won so much of seats by the blessings of common people. So if Pradesh Congress Committee moves in a different direction, in contravention to the existing essence of the India alliance, then it is the duty of Rahul Gandhi to control his Pradesh Congress Committee president.
Okay. Sanjay Jha, you know, for somebody who's been in the Congress, this is classic Congress, because here you have your right hand who doesn't know what the left hand is doing. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary holds a press conference in the morning, completely taking down Mamata Banerjee. By the afternoon, you have a Rahul Gandhi who says we are very close. One person says one thing from our camp, one person says something from their camp, but all is well. Here you have the TMC MP, Rajya Sabha, Dr. Shantanu, saying that all is not well. The Congress needs to wake up and read the writing on the wall. Otherwise, the TMC, in all clear terms, is happy to forge alone away from this particular alliance. At least that seems to be the warning.
Preeti, I will completely agree with my friend, Mr. Sen. The Congress, being the linchpin of the entire alliance, has to demonstrate not just accommodation, but pragmatism. And, I'm of the opinion that, the 3 months that the Congress party lost between September, October, November, because people were waiting for the assembly results and hoping to be on a stronger position of negotiation, was highly myopic, because the Lok Sabha would just be 3 months later. And I think even now, if you take the classic example of West Bengal, the TMC is the prime dominant force to stop the BJP and probably hold on and do better. It's important at this point that the alliance follows a principle. In fact, let me share it with you. I have recommended that to a number of people in the alliance, that the dominant party in every state should have the veto in terms of the seat distribution. If there is an issue, they can argue it out, but the final word must be left with that party. So if the TMC is the biggest player in West Bengal, and if it believes that Mr. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary will get only 2 seats of the Congress,
but
go with it.
Okay, but Sanjay Jha, that is something which even the TMC had said in the formula that it wanted to work out where seat sharing is concerned, where the dominant party takes the final call, and look at your Lok Sabha and your state assembly results to come up with a figure better. The question is, in all of this, Sanjay Jha, you have a Rahul Gandhi and you have the Congress, which seem to be actually warming up more to the left, which is a non-player in the West Bengal, rather than actually want to do business with the TMC.
Well, in my opinion, I think this is a call that the Congress party delays at its own peril. I personally believe that the TMC and a Congress combined will be formidable. Of course, I think the left parties have been traditional opponents of the TMC. And, there has to be a formula worked out. But I'm saying that one thing which is straightforward, and I'm glad you're doing a program on that, Preeti, this does not help the alliance's cause, not just in West Bengal, but across the country. Because the important thing is that the messaging must go out that we are moving fast forward. Because if you get seat distribution behind you, you can focus on your campaigning and the strategy for winning the election.
Just, it just seems it's just too late for all of that, Sanjay Jha. But, stay with me. I'd like to bring it.
Preeti, it's not too late. In my opinion, it's a question of being decisive. I think the Congress can't be in the state of asmanjas and duvida.
I want to bring in Amitabh Tiwari. But Sanjay Jha, why I say it's too late is because how are you going to set your strategy in order? You already clearly have a juggernaut which is firing on multiple levels, be it religion, be it deliverance, be it Viksit Bharat. And then you can't even come up with a basic strategy of seat sharing. And that is what was feared right from the beginning, Amitabh Tiwari, wasn't it? But I want to bring you in and maybe focus on the state of West Bengal. 2019, to the surprise of Mamata Banerjee, the BJP comes in and takes 18 seats. And this is very important for Mamata Banerjee to regain her hegemony, that the BJP is limited in terms of that it doesn't reach anywhere close to that 18-seat figure of the 42 in West Bengal.
Yeah, that is why Mamata Banerjee needs Congress there, because the vote share gap or the advantage which TMC had in 2019 was just 3%. And Congress has around 6% vote share, 5.7% to be precise. So this, if the two parties had contested together, then BJP would have lost anywhere between 6 to 8 seats. And that's the entire arithmetic of the alliance as to why these two parties need to be together if they have to stop the BJP juggernaut. But the major issue with this is that the TMC, NCP and YSRCP are parties which have split from the Congress and have regained prominent position in the states ahead of Congress, barring NCP, which has split up. So that is the basic problem with this alliance. That's number one. Number two is that TMC was part of NDA earlier, then shifted to UPA, formed government in Bengal in alliance with the Congress, and then riding on the vote share of the Congress, it has become a dominant player today with Congress reduced to 0 seats. Now, the basic problem of this alliance is that since this alliance is only for Lok Sabha, and there is no bloc deal or visibility for the next Vidhan Sabha elections. Now, these parties, not only in West Bengal, but in other states also, have been vigorously fighting against each other. So they just can't kiss and make up for a Lok Sabha election just because the top leadership wants them to do so. Correct. If the Congress party fears that if they accept only 2 seats, then it is going to be disastrous for them. Whatever vote share they have on the remaining 40 seats, that is likely to transfer to TMC. And once it happens, it can also be a permanent loss of votes, like it has happened in Delhi and in other states. So that's the big worry. It's the worry about protecting their own vote shares on an independent basis, because this alliance is not for a long term. It is a short-term alliance only for the general.
All right. I want to cut across to Siddharth Yadav, spokesperson BJP, because Mr. Yadav, This is exactly what possibly the BJP would be hoping, that this alliance in the state of West Bengal doesn't come together, because you just heard the math from Mr. Amitabh Tiwari that 6 to 7 seats last time you could have lost if there was an alliance where the Congress and the TMC came into play.
No, Preeti, I don't think that in politics always 1 plus 1 is 11. Rather, it's not even 2 in politics. We have seen in such alliances with BSP and SP. Voters generally don't come together. And especially when, the fight between the political parties and their ideology is so big that today it is not about seat sharing for these two parties. Listen to what Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary is saying. He's saying that Mamata Banerjee is an opportunist. He has come out and lashed on her like anything. He has accused her of so many things. When the political leaderships are accusing each other of such things, rather I should say exposing each other for such things, people are not fooled that if tomorrow, even if they come down to a settlement and they come together just for the sake of their politics, that people will also come together and vote for them. People are very
Rahul Gandhi, who totally countered what an Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary said today. Rahul Gandhi, Siddharth Yadav this afternoon came out and said that nothing's wrong, they're very close. One odd person says something, don't believe in them.
Preeti, is Rahul Gandhi the solution to this? Or were the reports earlier when Rahul Gandhi was himself the problem, when the relations between TMC and Congress were widening, was because Rahul Gandhi was given to handle the situation? It was fine between Sonia Gandhi and TMC. So if Rahul Gandhi comes out and says everything's fine, I don't believe him. And nobody does. No person of West Bengal, no citizen of this country is believing him, because he himself is the problem in the entire alliance and in the Congress party itself. But my point is, when parties, when their leaders, when ideologies, they fight with each other, but they come and sit down on one table and they tell us that we are going to come together for, save the constitution and do this to the country and do that. People are not fools. Everybody is looking at you. Nobody is going to vote for you just for your political gains. People know that you are coming down to settlements so that you want to do your math, you feel that you can increase your seats, you feel that it's going to be good for your political survival, and there's nothing for the country. Otherwise, how can two leaders come together and say, she is an opportunist, she is corrupt, she is bringing autocracy in West Bengal, but we'll come together and say, this is what the entire cadre is doing.
All right.
So I feel the people are going to make a very informed decision, and that decision is going to be rejecting these parties and nothing else.
All right. Dr. Shantanu said, the BJP spokesperson says he doesn't believe Rahul Gandhi, but the question is not the BJP believing, but does the TMC believe Rahul Gandhi when he says today that all is well, seat sharing is taking place swiftly, and one person might say anything from our camp, somebody else from your camp, don't look at that. Do you believe that Mr. Rahul Gandhi means well and it's going to happen sooner or later?
With all humility, I would like to correct my BJP representative that now the country needs a change. So whether there is any small friction between two regional parties in a particular state, that hardly matters so far the unity of India alliance is concerned. Because people want to get rid of this fascist government, because the entire country is burning, people, they are not getting food, they are not getting work, they are not getting their shelters, and entire country is in distress. So the people of the country want to be a distress-free and free and fair environment to live in. That's why these small issues that will hardly make any difference so far the result of India alliance is concerned. So my dear BJP spokesperson, you need not be so cheerful seeing these small issues. You better try to oil your own machine. India alliance will fight together for the greater interest of the country.
But Mr. Sen, the sad part is for you that their machine is very well oiled already. Mr. Jha, I know you want to come in, but let Mr. Yadav make a 10-second interjection and I'll come right after that. Yeah, Mr. Yadav, you wanted to come in. Go ahead.
I'll just take... Yes, I'll just take 10 seconds, a quick rebuttal. My friend, while said that I should not get cheerful, but he said issues between two regional parties will get solved for the country. Sir, Congress is not a regional party. I know your anger towards Congress is that they are insignificant in Bengal, they want nothing, but as you said, People want change. People want change from you, from your autocratic rule. People want that Bengal should now finally be in safer hands where Bengal can progress, and not in hands like Mamata Banerjee, who's trying to push it down. So please don't treat Congress like a regional party, sir. At least as far as I know, till today they are.
This is a very strange debate, because at one end you had Mr. Sen who's taking on the Congress and then taking on the BJP and defending the Congress. Tough job, Mr. Sen. But Mr. Jha, I'm going to bring you in on this, was somebody who was with the Congress earlier. And the question is, and I'm sorry to once again come down to, using Congress again, the problem seems to lie with the Congress, Mr. Jha. You have a TMC which is very clear, come down on seat sharing, make up your mind, the objective is to defeat the BJP. You have the likes, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary is not a small leader. He's not some Zilla Pramukh who says one thing the other day and something the next. There needs to be a complete order that needs to be set in. And if it doesn't happen now, then it's not going to happen, Mr. Jha.
Well, Preeti, let me tell you, I think Dr. Sen has punctured the highly premature delight on the face of the BJP spokesperson, who, by the way, I need to tell him that when Congress and AAP have come together for the Chandigarh mayoral poll, you saw what they did, right? They got so scared of losing that they actually found some loophole to try and postpone it. You see, the truth is, in the first past the post system, Preeti, we all know the arithmetic. When the opposition gets together, the BJP actually has no chance. I agree with him to some extent that votes don't transfer 100%, but there is a significant impact at the ground level. And I think the BJP is worried, because the truth is that much as they may try and bring religion into politics, at the ground level, there is a lot of anger, frustration, and I think people do want change. I think Dr. Sen is absolutely right. Therefore, my simple point is this. Amitabh mentioned that it's a short-term arrangement. Yes, it is a short-term arrangement, because in politics, you got to look at your short-term goal. And the goal for the India alliance is to stop the BJP from returning for the third time. Because we all know the danger to India's republic and to our constitutional democracy. You look at this party, they are so aggressive, violent, majoritarian, and they have no respect, by the way, for the institutions that actually make democracies function. So I do believe that the TMC and the Congress will fix it. And Rahul Gandhi is a senior leader. And I'm being honest with you, Adhir has seemed very frequently and spasmodically, he flies off the handle. And the Congress needs to tell him to actually take a deep breath.
Well, he's not something as small, no? In the Lok Sabha, he does lead the Congress. But having said that, I know. I want to go back to Amitabh Tiwari, because, also, Mr. Jha, the question is not so much the opposition coming in together and getting the arithmetic right. A lot happens where chemistry is concerned in Indian politics. And right now, whether you deny it or not, the chemistry lies with the Bharatiya Janata Party. But Amitabh Tiwari, to bring you in on this, on a larger context, with what is going on in West Bengal, really quite far away from reaching any agreement with the state where seat sharing is concerned, the neighbor Bihar is also causing enough of a hiccup.
See, essentially, what is in the right side of the brain of Nitish Kumar, even the left side of the brain doesn't know. So it is very difficult as to what Nitish Kumar will be doing. It is very, very difficult to predict. That's number one. Number two, JDU won 16 seats in 2019. Out of the 17 it got. On 8 seats, it defeated RJD candidate. So who has a claim on these seats? Of course, both parties will now try to have a claim. By principle of natural justice, JDU should get those seats. Then what does RJD do? So all these dynamics are there, which are causing delay in seat sharing. However, I would say if Nitish stays, if it decides to stay within the Mahagathbandhan of Congress, that alliance is the only alliance which has actually defeated BJP and has proved that it can transfer votes to one another. So the leakages of votes were very minimal in 2015 when JDU and RJD were together. However, it's a bigger alliance. It has left parties. It has one or two other smaller parties. And that is what is complicating the seat sharing arrangement, because nobody wants to give away a ticket on which you have a sitting MP. And JDU currently has 16, whereas RJD has 0 and Congress has just 1.
Well, you're right there, Mr. Tiwari. A lot going on in Bihar, but coming right back to its neighbor, West Bengal, and Mr. Sen, to bring you in. I want to ask you a direct question, Mr. Sen, and I know it's a tightrope walk because you're in favor of the India alliance, but having said that, you're really not getting anything from it as of now. Is there a deadline now that if the Congress doesn't turn around and seat sharing come good, then very possibly the TMC could walk out of this alliance?
Our party supremo has categorically said earlier that ideally it was supposed to be done by 31st of December because seat sharing is the most important issue, which is before us. Unfortunately, it couldn't be done yet, and Congress took enough time, sufficient time, because of those 5 states election that took place a few weeks back rather. And once again, our party supremo has said straight away that the seat sharing issue should be solved immediately, and Congress should fight minimum 300 seats straight away against BJP. And in the other states, where the regional parties can take BJP head-on, they should be given the free hand to fight BJP straight away.
All right. I appreciate all 4 gentlemen for joining us. Thank you for taking the time out. It's going to be a conversation which will be carried through the TMC right now, being very cryptic, but the messaging is very, very clear. It's chop chop. If not, then possibly one of the biggest allies who actually self-admittedly named the alliance, India, might stage a walkout. A quick break. Stay with us. On the other side is Rahul Kabba.